In the shadow of the majestic Sierra, where the spirit of the gold rush echoes, a different kind of treasure is sought: community sustenance. Feeding the Foothills Food Bank is a vital partner in the region, delivering the most essential resource to families: a reliable meal. Here to share the work they are doing, we have Dave Martinez, Feeding the Foothills Executive Director. Dave, thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you inviting us.
Yes, of course. So Dave, your food bank serves El Dorado, Nevada, and Placer counties, some of California's most beautiful but also most challenged regions when it comes to hunger. What are you seeing in terms of demand right now?
You know, since COVID, the demand has been up probably well over 30%. We really see a huge impact with the rural communities as well as what we see in our suburban communities.
Yeah. And then SNAP cuts are predicted to have a devastating impact across California. How does that translate for families in your service area specifically?
Preliminary numbers show that we're going to be impacted by at least 34,000 families that will not receive benefits for the month of November. And so food banks all across California, throughout the United States, are struggling with how do we fill that gap.
What are you hearing from families kind of anticipating needing this additional help and knowing that those cuts are happening? Are they extremely stressed right now around this time of year? What's the feedback you're getting?
Yeah, I think that overall families are stressed during the holiday season to begin with.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of additional stress on families. There's a lot of issues with construction, not, you know, if the rains are coming in, you're really struggling if work's going to go on and things like that. But I think that during the holiday season, you know, we all have an innate, you know, feeling to be with family and how do we take care of them. And I think that brings that additional stress of not being able to feed a family as well.
And we want to make sure we're taking care of our community members. I want to point out, we often think of food banks serving only the very lowest income families, but you're seeing shifts kind of in who needs that help. Can you share some examples of the new faces of hunger in the Foothills?
Yeah, I think we see a lot more on your younger families. If you look at one-bedroom apartments are, you know, $1,800 to $2,000 a month.
Yeah.
Since COVID, we've seen well over 30% increase in the cost of food. And then if you couple that with a lot of the rural communities that have to travel greater distances, not only for work, but to get food as well, it just really becomes a compounded issue.
Yeah, and to that point, I mean, hunger has ripple effects on health, education, even mental well-being. So what are you hearing directly from families about how food insecurity is affecting their daily lives and kind of how they proceed?
Yeah, I think that we may not hear directly families sharing with us, but you can certainly see that the stress is really becoming more and more. I think that as you look at what happened with eggs and things like that, it's really, the stress is really, you can really see it on those that are coming in. What they're sharing with us in terms of other family members is very high.
Yeah. And Dave, you mentioned, I mean, you're seeing new faces that are dealing with hunger. You're saying, you know, it's younger people now as well, too, in one-bedroom apartments. Would you say it could even be just someone that is even our neighbor? I think there's sometimes an assumption of what a need looks like.
It is.
Yeah.
You know, from time to time, we've had stories where an older couple has recently lost a spouse. That has been, we've also experienced a lot of communication around seasonal work and it not being consistent. So I think that, yes, I think that there's all walks of life right now, and you can never make an assumption that it is just low income. It really is the, you know, the middle class, so to speak.
And we want to make sure we're helping all of our neighbors.
Absolutely.
Feeding the Foothills used to be known as Placer Food Bank. How has your rebranding and growth allowed you to expand your mission in the community?
Yeah, you know, I think that, so we've been a Feeding America food bank since 1990.
Wow.
We've served the 3 communities, and I think that the other part of it, especially after COVID, is more of the direct services. So we're at senior complexes, we're at schools, we're doing our pantry to go sites, and so there's just been a affirmation of how we help our community in a more direct sense. So I think Feeding the Foothills is very much synonymous with Feeding America, and so I think it really helps identify us as a regional food bank.
Well, we want to thank you, Dave, for all the work you do and Feeding the Foothills does. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Of course. And to our viewers, you can take a stand against hunger. We've been saying this all day. To donate to Feeding the Foothills, visit our website at abc10.com/standagainsthunger.